of New Westminster, BC. This is your chance to win big thanks to Save on Foods' $1 million touchdown win. If the kickoff is returned for a touchdown, you could win groceries for a year. If 2 kickoffs are returned for touchdowns, you could also win $1 million. Good luck, Roy. Let's get you to BMO Field and join Marshall Ferguson and Dwayne Ford.
Thank you, Kate, and welcome to a pristine evening on the shores of Lake Ontario as the 2025 trifecta of QEW rivalry matchups begins with both the black and gold and the double blue coming off their lone victories of the season to date. Marshall Ferguson, Dwayne Ford, the first of 3 regular season matchups between these two clubs. The next one will be on Labor Day, and then they don't play again until October the 4th. But trying to maintain the momentum they gained with victories over Montreal and Ottawa. Second place in the East on the line as Mark Leggio boots this one away. They returned across the 30-yard line out to the 40, and right there stacked up is Kevin Brown, who will be W rivalry. 1st and 10 from the Toronto 42, and Arbuckle looks to throw immediately. Not surprising, these two teams throw it more than anybody in the CFL, and Arbuckle will take a seat right there. He's surrounded by the rest of this double blue starting offense.
And along the offensive line, he's got his secret weapon, Ryan Hunter, at right tackle. The big fella got himself a touchdown last week. We'll talk a little bit more about that as the game unfolds. And in the backfield, Kevin Brown gets the start at running back. Deontay McMahon is out of the lineup. Brown, the former Edmonton Elk, looks to get this Argos run game going.
5th game for the Argonauts this season. They haven't had a bye week yet, as Hamilton has, but already the 3rd different running back combination being used due to injuries as Arbuckle looks down the field. This one hangs up a little bit, but it is hauled in. Deshaun Amos, the former Argonaut, will make the play, but Kevin Mittal, man, he's been targeted 21 times now on the season. Time with some pace on it for Nick Arbuckle as he leads the CFL in completions of 30-plus yards down the field. This time he'll go behind the line of scrimmage. Jean Brissett catches it, trying to play the numbers game and get outside. Cuts back on Deshaun Amos. As Jonathan Moxey finally runs him out of bounds. University of Virginia, former 2nd overall selection, as they'll go inside this time. Mittal cuts it to the out. Stavros Katsantonis giving chase and finally brings down Kevin Mittal, who stacks him up all the way inside the 5-yard line. Looks like they'll spot it around the 3.
In the ground game.
Nick Arbuckle hands it off inside. Kevin Brown gets the touch again with Deontay McMahon out of the lineup. Mayan Williams out as well. 9 of 9 in the score zone. 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions here early in the 2025 CFL season. Week number 5 underway with the opening drive of the ball game. Driving to the end zone. Touchdown Toronto. Kevin Brown. They said see ya after training camp. He says hello to the fans in the end zone with a Week 5 opening drive touchdown.
Yeah, and again, mixing it up a little bit. There's so often that tendency to try and pound it between the tackles when you get in these goal line situations. But here, the Argos get on the move, let Kevin Brown attack the perimeter. He finds a soft spot, first open gap, turn it north-south.
It was a long opening drive touchdown in their last game at home against Saskatchewan, as those two will receive the kick from Liram Haralahu, and Hamilton gets their first touch on the ballgame after Toronto won the coin toss, took the football and scored. What can the Tiger Cats do? That's a pretty decent return, and up to the 38-yard line last week. Highly efficient. They'll begin on the ground here as the Tiger Cats starting offense, getting some bodies back up in the front, and the starters look like this across the board.
Yeah, and we'll keep an eye tonight on the tackles, Quinton Barrow, Brendan Bordner, as they'll face Andrew Chatfield Jr. comes in leading the Canadian Football League in sacks. I mentioned Greg Bell back in the lineup at running back. He missed last week. I expect we'll still see some Johnny Augustine helping take the load off of Bell, but if the first play is any indication, the Ticats, like the Argos, are looking to establish that ground game early.
2nd and 8. Flank comes up on the snap. Low over the middle, looks for Shamar Bridges. It's incomplete.
Bo Levi Mitchell.
Offside, Hamilton, number 17. Penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Dead. 0 for 1 to open things up here, and trailing already by a touchdown as Nick Constantino will send this one away. 49.4-yard average. This is a beauty. All the way to that wide side. It's a 62-yard punt as Janarian Grant brings brings it back. Decent return that time to Ted Shirt's support of Ted Gavaya, the general manager of the Ticats, who's going through cancer. Is the defense constructed by Ted Gavaya looks like this for the black and gold.
Yeah, Taiwan Garbett at defensive end, one of a number of former Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Followed Ted Gavaya over from the blue and gold. Brandon Dozier in that linebacking core with a couple of young guys in Wilborn and Verisuk providing the experience. We'll keep an eye on former Argonaut Jamal Peters. Expect to see him matched up a little bit tonight against a former teammate, DeMonte Coxey. Two of the best their respective crafts.
Peters spent his first 3 years at Toronto, says that's all to pass now. He is officially a Tiger Cat, is now a looping corner route, thrown way up high for Unger and taken away. It's intercepted by who else? Another former Argonaut, Deshaun Amos, crosses the 40-yard line and slides down at the 35. He tied a career high with 5 interceptions for the Argonauts last season right here. And he picks this one off as Arbuckle threw it up for grabs.
A little bit of ground here as Unger gets in behind, but terrific recovery. Focus on that football with the over-the-shoulder catch by the former Argonaut, Deshaun Amos.
Wouldn't be a QEW rivalry without a former Argonaut intercepting a pass in front of a former Tiger Cat receiver. So fantastic starting field position here. The 35-yard line for Bo Levi Mitchell after going 0 of 1 on the opening drive. Goes for a kill shot right away. Kenny Lawler up in the air, juggled, caught it. Touchdown! From 0 for 1 to 1 for 2, and a 35-yard strike to the most lethal man on the deep ball in Hamilton.
Well, we've talked for years about that sudden change, go into attack mode after the turnover, and it's Kenny Lawler going vertical, and this is what he does as well as anybody.
Start believing. He's been doing it for a while in the Canadian Football League. Coming into this game, Lawler had more he tracks it like nobody else. The body control, the aerobatics, and the great hands to halt. Lawler came in with 10 contested catch attempts. That leads the CFL. Add another one. And now a 6th contested catch made. There's great attention to detail when the ball is high in the air early in the season. So what can Toronto do to answer now? They'll begin with the ground game. Trying to push their way forward towards the 40-yard line.
6 well over 300 pounds.
They'll go with a quick little screen inside, trying to get Kevin Mattal back into the mix, and he is turned around immediately. Devin Verisuk, standout 2nd overall selection from this year's draft, had a pick 6 last week and does a great job that time flowing right to the football. Haggerty comes out. Tiger Cats thinking about sending some heat. They'll bail out. Haggerty with a wobbling boot down to the 18-yard line of the Tiger Cats. 50-yard punt. Isaiah Wooden spun out of it. He's got some life here as he tries to stutter step and get the edge. He does get around Haggerty. Turns the corner. One more man to beat, giving chase, and a great job taking the angle, flying all the way back. As getting his first opportunity is Aaron Casey.
He's got to be beside himself because they've done well and they've really stabbed themselves in the foot here.
Yeah, no doubt, Luke. And you see Ryan Dinwiddie talking things over with Kevin Mattal on the sidelines. The formation. Turnowski lines up in the backfield, and Mitchell looks to the outside, and this one was up for grabs. Bell hung up to dry a little bit there. It's Tavares McFadden driving on the football. 23 straight. And Leggio has been money.
Impacted them in terms of playoff position, having to go on the road through Montreal to get to the Grey Cup.
Beat everybody in the East other than Hamilton, and maybe good for them because Hamilton was 3-0 against the Argonauts last year. This one looks like it was ripped out, stacked up and ripping at the football.
Fortunate to get back on top of it.
Blood in the water, as well as Ray Wilburn came flying in that time. And now Arbuckle's going to go down, thrown to the turf. Brendan Dozier in there alongside Julian Hauser. Haggerty knocks this one down, see if Wooden can find some more space. And goes straight forward into a pile of Argonauts.
When I was 6 years old, now the Argos equipment staff have those 2 footballs, and definitely Sluka wants to give one of them to his grandfather Teddy, but he's had such an impact on the Argos defensively, on special team.
That one, I know what that feels like, but what an athlete, what a player Toronto's found for themselves here as Levi Mitchell took a seat on first down. Now he goes over the top to Kenny Lawler again, up in the air, and 89's got it. He'll walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Kenny Lawler. 79 yards.
Well, absolutely amazing to watch this play happen in real time as the ball is up in the air and the defender, Tavares McFadden, is closing on Kenny Lawler as the ball is in the air. You'll see it on the left side of your screen, but you can see just how relaxed and focused on the football Lawler remains, watching that one in and able to maintain his balance after the catch to take this one to the house, his second of this first quarter. Outside, playing to the field. This time, he and Tim White given all kinds of room to work. It's 2 receivers to the field side. We often talk about these guys as primarily the boundary side receivers where they're a little closer to the quarterback, wanting to give them room to get open. And Kenny Lawler takes advantage of the situation.
Both to Kenny Lawler, and they're both touchdowns as Mark Leggio kicks this one up and through.
Somewhat instant.
Tiger Cats have 2 first downs, 17 points. A little bit reminiscent of Labor Day against these same Argonauts last year in the first quarter when Bo had a pair of touchdowns. Those were both to Tim White. The problem is you got Tim White and you add Kenny Lawler. Nick Arbuckle with all the momentum taken away from this Argonauts offense. They got to start producing. Luke talked about it earlier on. A little bit of excitement he has for a long time in the CFL. His quick strike this time. David Unger III ripping across the 50, and Stavros Katsantonis playing savior once again for the Tiger Cats defense for them this year. Got a handful of contested catches, a lot of second down conversions as well. Is now driving the legs through contact. And a first down on first down with the running game. Another boring first quarter between the Hamilton Tiger Cats and the Toronto Argonauts is, yes, just 2 first downs. You are seeing that correctly. 17 points on the board. And that comes because, of course, you have Bo Levi Mitchell to Kenny Lawler. It is an elite combination. And out, so plenty of moving and shaking in that backfield. But Nick Arbuckle has started every game so far for the Argonauts. Quick move this time. Right through the middle of that Tiger Cats defense. Looks like that was Devontae Coxey. A lot of change around him. And he is back as now Arbuckle hands it off, going around the corner, and not fooled at all. Student of the game, Devin Verisuk, gets a tackle for loss. Liam Hiralahu, low line drive of a field goal, but it is on the money as usual for sidelines. As Bo Levi Mitchell, the former Stampeder, hands it off. Minimal gain on this play, but
Verisuk being one of them.
Both making plays here early on is why not go right back to Kenny Lawler, second down conversion. And a nice design that time with Tyler Turnowski doing the dirty work out in front. Brandon Revenberg flying out as well from his left guard spot to get a block. At the top of your screen with a little bit of a waggle. Give it to Johnny Augustine. 15 carries last week for 49 yards, and he'll tag on 10 more to his season tally right here.
Spot being productive and paying dividends early on here in the Ticats season.
We'll go back to Bell as the Tiger Cats running game starting to get going, but that's to use the tight end. See if they go to that a little bit later on. Right now it's a little slip screen. Greg Bell. They're utilizing a little bit of everything. Trey in the game in the backfield alongside Greg Bell as well as Bo Levi fakes it, rips this one to the sideline. Shamar Bridges one-on-one dives towards the first down marker.
Will come. Just keeps grinding out there for the Cats.
Under center, Leitry takes the snap and rolls his way forward. Interesting. Obviously they went short yardage there, but first and 10. Mitchell looks left, fadeaway shot, gets it to Greg Bell, and chasing it down is Isaac D'Arcangelo. Flying out from that middle linebacker, convert on 2nd and 4 to the 15. Mitchell looks left, finds Tyler Turnowski, who turns, smells the end zone, and gets a massive whiff of touchdown.
Great to see Tyler Turnowski get this opportunity in the starting lineup and make the most of it. Slot in close, he's just running that out And that time it's Kenny Lawler clearing things out for him.
Major and Turnowski often working in the shadows, but that time in the spotlight. And
still wearing his college colors, the former Waterloo Warrior.
Highly productive in his time at Waterloo, and play was for anywhere, but it ended up in the end zone as Nick Arbuckle, protected by Ryan Hunter, gets it outside to John Brissett, popped by Jamal Peters. The
solid effort by the big fella, nonetheless.
Gotta love the creativity. Perhaps the best celebration we've seen in Ottawa since John Gott from a big man. Trying to sort out exactly what the body patterns, the rhythms have to be when he switches positions like that. Is this one off the hands of Kevin Brown, incomplete?
Dominant hand.
It's almost more like switching from your right hand to your left foot than your left hand. As Arbuckle thought about sending it down the field, now tries to go and get the first down. Ray Wilborn flies into the 50. It'll be about 4 yards shy of the mark needed. Den plays as much as he is. They're just having the pocket collapse a little bit more than they originally had planned. With the line group that they have, as Haggerty bombs this one down inside the 5. Isaiah Wooden will put his head down and go get what he can.
One of the best, if not the best receiver in the league. They're going to take that matchup 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, absolutely, Luke. Is that time incomplete with who else? And it looks like Sluka flew over and helped out McFadden that time. But doesn't look too worse for her. We'll see what they do on the sideline here as he's out for the snap. And Levi Mitchell is brought down. Already made a huge special teams play. Aaron Casey on defense gets the sack for the CFL's leading sack attack.
Taking my chances on that one.
Constantino will kick this one away. Janarian Graham, one of the most dangerous returnmen in the CFL, catches it right at the 55. Trying to get to the field side. They set it up as a field return. Can he get there to the outside? Makes 2 men miss, now 3. Gets to the wall and stumbles. And after all of that happened, what a race, eh? Beat the cow.
Oh.
Crushed him. Nick Arbuckle flips this one out. Kevin Brown getting involved here in the receiving game.
That they established out of the gate here.
Arbuckle looks to quick throw, and this one bounces off the hands of Tavares Daniels, incomplete. As Destin Talbert right there on the coverage last week in Hamilton's first victory of the year. As now Liam Haralagu on a low snap hammers this one through. Crossing the century mark, both of them in unique ways. Back in week number 4 is here in week number 5. Bo Levi Mitchell continues to roll along, now over 40,000 passing yards in his career. But Gord Downey to bring that one to life. His short yardage in for the Hamilton Tiger-Cats here. Into Litre, leans to the right. Benji Franklin.
People around him, etc.
Also hit 50 career, 300-plus passing yards games last week. In that 100th victory as he gets this one underneath to Keandre Smith.
So much of the attention.
See if they go back to Smith here on the second down. As this one is complete to the touchdown maker. Tyler Turnowski leans his way forward. Scrappy effort once again from Turnowski for the first down. Transition year for him, doesn't it? No longer is he the guy that you throw in for a couple of snaps a game. He's getting real chances in real time. As Greg Bell tries to dance away. Great open field tackle right there by who else? Cam Judge. Expect him to make those over and over again. The Football League is Judge back here in the 6th. Flags come up. Ryan Dinwiddie. No, coming up.
Time count violation. Hamilton, number 19. Penalty is a loss of down. 3rd down.
Yeah.
Constantino flips the football backwards. Ozzie drops it. Engineering Grant. Nice little jump cut. Nets him an extra couple of yards after a 40-yard punt. Arbuckle slings it out. Tavares Daniels, jump cut. Dances away. Flag comes up.
Before yards were gained, holding. Toronto, number 83. Half the distance to the goal. Will repeat 1st down.
Hamilton playing at that wide side wide receiver, getting a lot of the blocking on screen plays. Similar script being down here early on in the second half is Liam Haralagu who gets it underway. Toronto took the football to begin the football game. Hamilton will get the football here to open things up in the 3rd quarter as Isaiah Wooden tiptoes his way down the sideline and steps out of bounds, but really haven't moved him off the spot all that much. Greg Bell gets a handoff inside, bounces off 2 tackles, and all of a sudden, Liam Dobson that was there to try and turn Bell the other direction, get a couple more yards at the end of the play. He's sending Bell backwards until Dobson showed up. All of a sudden, we'll go back to Bell here as he tries to cut it back. Nice play. In behind. Jordan Williams in here for Anthony. The fullback as Levi Mitchell goes for a jog to the sideline. And first down, it looks like for him. They got to throw it to Bo at some point, right? Kenny Lawler. Hand it off. Greg Bell trying to slash his way between the tackles, but that interior again, Jordan Williams and Anthony Lanier doing the job. Down and set the down and distance that Scott Milanovic says he would really tell when Levi Mitchell's on. And that qualifies. First down, Tim White on the other end. Over the right palm of 19 as this time they'll hang on to it. Now flip it out. Tim White's got some room. Stutter step. Gets back on his heels and pushed it downs inside the 15-yard line. D'Arcangelo had to hustle his way out from middle linebacker. Blitz is on here from the Argonauts. Quick turn. And Lawler knifes his way down to the 5-yard line. Our offensive lineman is playing fullback there. Nate Dugan, number 61. They'll hand it off. Go towards the strong side. Greg Bell runs into a pile of Tiger Cats. Reached out. And the ball popped loose. And they'll say down at the 1-yard line.
The field is down by contact. First down.
It was on his landing that ball popped loose. He's trying to reach for that goal line.
In Toronto territory, Mitchell sprints out to his right. Receiver falls down, but only has one option. Off the hands, into the end zone, touchdown. Brendan O'Leary Orange, but there's a flag down.
5 on the line there.
Procedure,
6 inside.
No end. Hamilton. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
So they're suggesting no end.
Yeah, so he was on the line.
Outside, yeah.
The other two
Nobody
receivers
outside.
must have been off.
Yeah.
If they do with Bo. Looks to hand it off. Greg Bell cuts it back, finds the end zone, and Hamilton extends their lead.
Well, Tiger Cats staying with that ground game despite getting Bo in at quarterback. Greg Bell.
Former Winnipeg Blue Bomber, 3rd overall selection, now here in Hamilton, coming over in free agency, paying dividends alongside Greg Bell.
Yard line, it was going to be someone else's major and short yardage, but Bell ultimately gets the...
Well, Toronto trying to mix things up here. They get Janarian Grant, a little reverse on the return, down the sideline, get a block, and Janarian Grant, magic in 2024, and brings BMO Field to its feet. Fire the cannons! Grant's back in the end zone at 25.
He would have beaten the real cow. It wasn't necessarily the smoothest exchange on the reverse here. To me, it looked a little telegraphed, but the Tiger Cats had been sucked in just enough to allow the speed of Janarian Grant to take over.
Or 2 here. Arbuckle fakes the run, rolls to his right, tries to make a move, cuts back, looks for the edge, the ball pops out, and it's loose. Arbuckle took a pretty good shot there, but sloppy on the 2-point conversion attempt.
Impressive when you think of a player at any position.
This one drops down short, big kick in the air, and Wooden waited for it and somehow was able to get on top. Now spinning his way out towards the 40. That was a gorgeous moonshot kick from Liram Haralahu. Put his hands up. No flag on the play. Touchdown counts. 2-point was no good, so just 6 points, but now they screen it on the Hamilton offense to Lee trade. Sun has gone down. 31-19 ball game after the Janarian Grant return touchdown. Handoff here going nowhere for Greg Bell. 5 wide for Bo. It's a 4-man rush. He goes to Shamar Bridges, and that one almost intercepted Tavares McFadden. visions of tagging on a defensive touchdown to go with Grant's special team major.
As McFadden does. Got a great opportunity to make some plays.
Monster boot here from Constantino as the Aussie kicks this one out of bounds. Oh my goodness. Right there. A 58-yard punt that could not have taken a more exact bounce.
Of New Westminster, BC, you've just won groceries for a year thanks to Save on Foods' $1 million touchdown to win. Congratulations, Roy. If there is another kickoff return for a touchdown, you could also win $1 million.
Hard count from Nick Arbuckle, trying to gain some free space as he gets rid of the football, trying to rush it away that time. Felt the pressure coming, didn't want to give up the safety, but it's incomplete. The uprights just salivating, hoping that they try to throw in his area as they go underneath, and Peters drives on the football. Haggerty catches the long snap on point, high spiraling boot. And that one, you hear the entire Hamilton bench, let it go, so you factor in the sequence here. The Constantino punt early on in this second half for the Tiger Cats up front as Mitchell now goes back to Lawler, looking over the top, back shoulder! Magnificent from Lawler into the end zone for his third.
The magnificent thing to watch about this play is it just seemed like a what the hell throw from both. It wasn't my first look, maybe it wasn't my second look, but it's Kenny, so I'm going to give him a chance. What the hell? Looks to the out, looks to the post. Oh, there's Kenny. He's covered, but whatever.
Touchdowns.
Yeah, here it is, Lawler on the outside. Got three receivers to that side, including the tight end, Giovanni Robinson.
Rebuttal as well. As the QEW rivalry alive and well, 37-19. The Tiger Cats set the tone for Labor Day, which is the next time these two clubs will meet back in Hamilton. As they go with another reverse to Janarian Grant, and he gets a little bit of breathing room, but Hamilton closes that one down at the end of the play.
Over the course of the last two seasons.
Arbuckle flips this one out. Down that left sideline, Kalen Labor not even blinking as he stands on the sideline. Another quick toss out. Rolling for a first down, the Argonauts.
The Argos need to still find a groove offensively.
Pressure on Arbuckle. Nice shot on the dig route that time. Dave Unger the third. Add Kelly to DeMonte Coxie against the Ottawa Redblacks in the East Semi last year. Just bombs away. How do you stop it? And you force the other team like Toronto here. We'll see when he gets back into the lineup. As Arbuckle at the controls. Four now. Looks over the middle. Nice little sidearm delivery that time. Tavares Daniels spinning away from two tacklers. And gets it all the way down to the 15-yard line.
Nice game.
Arbuckle putting together a real nice drive right now as he rips this one short underneath. Caught bouncing off tacklers. Hard to bring down Kevin Mittal.
Pressing.
Pre-pack to the left of Arbuckle. He looked that direction, then he has to get off of it again. Fading to his right into the end zone. And DeMonte Coxie. What an answer from the Kenny Lawler touchdown, Toronto. Slips their way back into the end zone, into the hands of DeMonte Coxie, who admires the work of Kenny Lawler, I'm sure, watching from the sideline, and gets his own trip to the end zone.
Mission here again. Arbuckle doing a nice job navigating the pocket. He gets pressure from Verasuk off the edge. Rolls to his right to buy time. Coxie just working back to a spot to give his quarterback a target.
How about Nick Arbuckle? Backed up. Tiger Cats leading this one heading into the fourth, 37-26. All time, they're 143 and 106 against the Argonauts, but 62-62 and 1 here in Toronto. Keep an eye on this Hamilton possession, exactly how they're going to defend. Do they change what they've been doing? As Isaiah Wooden tries to turn around a reverse field, and he's going to be chased out wide, cuts it back. Might have lost a couple of yards. Feels like we're headed that way. The Argonauts Argonauts defense with some work to do in order to give their offense an opportunity. And Franklin, Mark Melton over there as well. Bo looks the other direction. In breaking route, incomplete. Flag comes out. This looks like it was the field judge on the backside, Brian Kuplo.
Pass interference, Toronto, number 2. Spot of the foul, first down, and 10 yards.
So they set the sticks. It might have just been Ryan Dinwiddie going, Tavares, what are you doing? It's a running back. Mitchell hands it off. Bell with his 10th carry of the ball game. On second down and 6. Just a 3-man rush. They drop out into zone. Shamar Bridges loses his edge. The wheels were turning, but the car wasn't moving. 10. Mitchell pumps the screen, looks over the top. Lawler down the rail. Got him. Why not, eh?
The outside bottom of your screen. In stride here.
62. And the only receiver to go over 100 yards for the Tiger Cats so far this year. Now he's doubled it up. And Johnny Augustine rumbles his way, following up a great performance last week again for Augustine. And 1st and 10. Mitchell crossing routes in front of them, nobody to go to, and Bo steps up in the pocket and rips this one. Keandre Smith pays the price along that sideline. Benji Franklin. This time they're split. White goes to the field, Lawler to the boundary. Bo looks over the middle, hanging in the air. Keandre Smith, touchdown Argonauts, or Tiger Cats, sorry. What a grab by Keandre Smith. And Bo turns right to the Argos sideline and points to his ear.
Adding a little fuel to the rivalry, I think. Left edge of your screen, number 85, fights to get that inside release. And with the window closing, since watching him run that route, that he knew he's the primary on that one. Competing, fighting to get inside position on Mark Miller. To seriously dislike people.
We don't hate, but rivalries, it's okay to seriously dislike. Here in Canada, coast to coast, tremendous Canadian football action as Mark Leggio sends this one away. It drops down to Kevin Brown. Will they try to get it to Janari Grant again? No, they don't. And Kevin Brown tries to wheel his way back. And, well, they've established the tendency of we'd like to get him the football, but
churning and churning, but not getting any closer.
Doing everything he can on that last possession. Now he gets hit from behind as he throws this one up into double coverage. It's up for grabs, and it falls down to the turf as Tavares Daniels loses his helmet. Went rolling over the top, so Arbuckle moving gingerly, but completes. It is Kevin Mittal once again. Fox has got 2 interceptions on the season, looking for his 3rd. They'll go his direction. As DeMonte Coxie with a touchdown earlier on tonight. Has 4 Tiger Cats right there, including the rookie Devin Verzuk. 5 wide for Arbuckle, who does look like he's moving better. Now taking a shot over the top, lays it up against Bannatyne, and ripping it away, DeMonte Coxie. Says the Argonauts refuse to go away.
Amongst the best in the league in that regard as well.
15 pounds and 4 inches height down on DeMonte Coxie is stretching to the end zone. DeJon Brissett wanted that one badly. Brandon Dozier hanging on for dear life, stands in the gun. Pressure look from the Tiger Cats. They blitz everywhere in the gaps, and it doesn't make a difference. Wilburn can't hold on, and Leyburn is into the end zone in his first game here in 2025 with Toronto.
And Kalen Leyburn getting an opportunity to spell Kevin Brown in the backfield here.
Toronto goes for 2 as Arbuckle hard counts. Tiger Cats showed as though they were going to send the house. And a flag comes up before the snap.
Procedure, Toronto, number 52. 5-yard penalty, we'll replay the convert.
On the 2-point conversion from the 8, hard count again. Did they get Julian Hauser or did Ryan Hunter jump?
Procedure, Toronto, number 62. 5-yard penalty, we'll replay the convert.
Kick it as you get moved back.
Well, Hamilton's going to sit back now and play zone as looking up over the top and just giving a jump ball to Coxie, but this one uncatchable. 44-32. Toronto Sky. Drops down. Wooden catches it at the 24. A little breathing room. Gets to the outside. Has the angle. Does he have the speed to beat everybody? Liram Hajrullahu, not going to touch him. No flags down. Shot for shot. The Ticats and Argos go back and forth. Mitchell can stay right there on the sidelines. Dwayne Ford, 5 straight possessions have resulted in touchdowns. 50-32.
You remember the end of the first quarter when we said the Argos do not want to turn this game into a track meet. The Hamilton Tiger-Cats, that relay squad's been looking pretty good.
Flag came down after the score. I wonder if there might have been some taunting between the benches here.
On the previous play, we have a 10-yard misconduct penalty against the Hamilton bench. The 10 yards will be applied on the kickoff.
Set the tone, and Isaiah Wooden, this was a no-doubter when he made that cut right there.
Yeah, getting to the wide field and just turning on the Jets. Establishing a bit of a swagger, whereas a coach deep down, you're okay with it.
Wants to give away even more. Going to Kate Burness at the end of this play on the tackle. If there is a tackle, who knows in this ball game the way that it's gone. As it will be wrapped up and brought down as we go back to Kate Burness in studio. Kate, what do you got?
Marshall, provided you have complied with the rules of the contest and correctly answered a skill testing question, Roy Leister of New Westminster, BC, you have just won $1 million.
Yeah!
Shopping at Save-On Foods and playing $1 million touchdown to win has never been more rewarding.
We're coming
Congratulations, Roy!
Penalty, you're Roy Leister.
Yeah. What time should we be there for the party, Roy?
Unbelievable. Congratulations. First time in the history of that program. It happens tonight, rightfully so, in a wacky,
first down.
entertaining back-and-forth ball game. It's another touch of the rock sooner rather than later. Arbuckle over the middle. Oh, they dropped out. Julian Hauser. Perfect deception that time from the Tiger-Cats. The sideline. Arbuckle was, middle's open. Nope. As a flag comes up on this one, and Arbuckle does look over the middle. Jean Brissett catches it at the 50. And the Tiger-Cats rallying defense there once again, and now we'll sort out the flag.
Procedure, no end. Toronto. 5-yard penalty. We'll repeat second down.
Book for it. Monte Coxie out there all by himself. They'll play soft coverage and flip it out. Kalen Leyburn puts his head down and tries to get as much yardage as he possibly can. Leans into this one, drops it down to the 16-yard line, and Wooden finds a little bit of breathing room, cuts it back, and another nice return. Mr. BC, you could win $1 million. Somebody calls Roy, he's not already watching. Goes, hey, Roy, you might want to get.
You got a chance.
You might want to get to a television here, and
strictly a pro.
I believe from semi-pro, you just need a bigger bank.
Yeah,
that's the rule. Anti-Lee trade. Puts his head down. Gets the first down on 2nd and long. And could he shut it down with another big one as they hand it off inside, going nowhere. What do you love the most about Kenny's game? It feels like it right now is Lawler leading the CFL in receiving yards. A minute. 120. Pressure on here from the Argonauts. As Janarian Grant trying to find room down that sideline. He couldn't, Goody. Arbuckle on 1st and 10. Flips this one away as Julian Hauser right there. Pressure on. Re-signed red players. Well, all of a sudden there was a guy in black and gold that went to Calgary. There's a big run over the middle here. And Jean Brissett goes airborne over the top of Stavros Katsantonis. So going skyward.
I actually got banned from trying to jump over people. True story.
Oh, man, Katsantonis downhill. back-to-back plays. Kevin Mittal.
Give up a few yards here, but they just don't want to give anything over the top.
Allowing that clock to burn. Nick Arbuckle puts up his 34th passing attempt of the evening to the outside. And looking forward to continued good news and love the support from around the CFL for Ted. And one of the longtime good guys in the CFL is
team coach and trying to deal with Adriano Belli.
Pass over the middle here, wrapped up. Dustin Talbert in on Tavares Daniels, and Evan Brown was in to the end zone. Kalen Layburn was as well, and this will get fired into the waiting arms of Kevin Mittal.
Yeah, Mittal's just going to sit it down. You can see that gap, throwing the ball before Varasek can widen to get to that zone.
They were 3 for 3 coming in. That number dropped tonight, but they'll go. Arbuckle bounces in the pocket, and almost an incredible snatch. Reaching with the left hand was DeMonte Coxey, but can the Argonauts do anything to lengthen it? High in the air, Hairolahu staring it down, and Waller shuts it down. To the ground they go. Johnny Augustine in full ball security mode, and Tiger Cats offensive line an even 500 now, sitting at 2-2. As Toronto falls to 1-4 on the season, their lone victory on the road, and they've already played here at home in weeks 2, 3, and now 5, and far between for much of the season in 2024.
Sports in general is just the different approaches to building teams, and you know, you have a theory about what's going to work and how pieces are going to fit together and so on, and you know, it's got to be a pretty good feeling for the Hamilton Tiger Cats when you bank on a combination of giving Bo Levi Mitchell a Kenny Lawler to throw to.